In today's episode, we'll be drawing Ash Ketchum.
Hi, I'm Miss K.
And I'm Mr. K.
And we are
What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of KDrawDraw. In today's episode, we'll be drawing Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. So to start off, we'll be drawing a circle shape for the head. Now I'm drawing this as a guideline. It's not necessarily how he looks like in the final product. I'm just getting the proportions right in the beginning. So yeah, now I'm working on his body, which is just adding some shoulders and two slanted lines on one on each side downwards. So yeah, you should have something like this so far. If you're new to this channel, do consider subscribing. We upload every Tuesdays, Fridays and Sundays. So now I'm working on the proper shape of his face. I shall make it larger so it's easier for you viewers to see what I'm drawing. So I'm trimming the sides of his face as such. So for this tutorial, I'm drawing the straight line. And then I'll just cut the sides. So you should have something like this so far. Now I'm adding the ears on the side. So it's about half of the size, the side of his face. For those of you wondering, I'm using the Procreate app on iPad. Now I'm working on his trademark red cap that he's always wearing. So you want to take note of the proportions. So basically it's just two almost straight lines at the side, and then you want to join them up with a curve as such. And then about 1/3 of the way in, you want to draw like a line downwards from the top, followed by a horizontal line and a vertical line on each side. This is basically the area of the snapback. I'm working on part of his hair at the moment. So I'll just indicate where's the top part of his hair and then the ones on the side of his head. And then I'm gonna join them up using a series of zigzag lines. Now I'm drawing his neck area. So you want to take note of the proportions. Okay. So I guess it's slightly lower than his shoulder level, where his neckline is. I'm working on his fringe. As you know, Ash Ketchum does have messy hair. So his fringe kind of looks like a lightning bolt. You want to leave some space before you work on his nose. Essentially, it's just a triangular shape, but one of the sides is actually slightly curved in, which is the side at the top. I'm drawing his mouth, which is a slanted line. You want to leave some space from his nose area. After you've drawn the slanted line, you want to add sort of like a semicircle shape. And then you want to draw a curve inside to indicate his tongue area. I'm adding, I guess you can call it his freckles. He has this kind of lightning bolt freckles on his face. Now I'm gonna draw his eyes. So he does have eyes which looks like basically it's almost an oval shape, but at the bottom you wanna cut it off with a straight line. And you wanna repeat the same on the other side. Do take note of the spacing of his eyes. And then I'm just gonna draw ovals inside to indicate his pupils, so they look as such. So it should look something like this if you're following along so far. Now I'm gonna erase his chin just so I can readjust. I'm just gonna extend it downwards. So of course he doesn't have a very pointed chin. I will adjust it later on. So yeah. Adjusting his face area, because for this particular tutorial Ash Ketchum is holding a pokeball in his left hand, which of course viewed from the front it's on the right. So I'm just gonna draw the shape of the pokeball, which is a circle shape. And then I'm gonna erase the lines that were underlying. Trying to get the shape of the circle as perfect as I can. And now I'm going to draw the center part of the pokeball. I guess it's the part where it has the button. And then I'm gonna extend by drawing some curves on the outer layer, which is the basic detail of the pokeball. adding lines, extending it from the curve I drew earlier to the sides. So it looks as such. The drawing looks a bit funny now, but it will make sense in a while. Okay, now I'm drawing his fingers holding on to the pokeball. So what I just drew was his thumb, and then again I'm erasing the underlying line to make it less confusing. So after I've drawn his thumb, I'm gonna draw his index finger, followed by his middle finger, and so on. So for fingers, normally I just like to draw the basic oval shape out, and then from there I will trim the sides to make it look I guess more realistic. So yeah, I'm done adding his 5 fingers, and then now I'm gonna erase the lines that I do not need. So as you can see, the way I draw is I like to draw the bottom layer first and then add layers on top of it, and I adjust by erasing it. I'm gonna draw the other side of his hair. So as you can see, the trick I used was to draw sort of like a 3-sided figure, and then I just fill the sides with zigzag lines. With drawings, you don't have to get the right shape straight away. You can at least draw the basic shape and then do some erasing. So yeah, if you're enjoying this tutorial so far, please smash that like button. It really helps us out. And of course, do comment and do subscribe, because we upload on Tuesdays, Fridays and Saturdays, and if you don't want to miss our content, press that subscribe button. So I'm working on his shoulder area, just doing some redefining. I've added some collars. Early on was the one on the left, and then the one on the right looks something like what I just drew. I'm gonna draw his sleeve of his jacket, as well as part of his arm area. So yeah, that's his arm. If at any point of time you feel that this video is going too fast, after every step you can pause the video. So just, hopefully you guys are having a good day today. I'm drawing his jacket. I'm extending it to the sides, because earlier on I was drawing sort of like his the figure of his body. So of course his jacket is baggier, I guess, so you have to extend on the sides. I'm gonna draw the left side of his jacket. So it's 3-sided of a square, and then you're gonna slant the line downwards. You're gonna join it at the bottom. So apart from our usual episodes on those 3 days, there's certain days of the week that we try to do some live streams in our free time. So do watch out for them as well. Now I'm working on, so I just drew a line across that was to indicate the end of, or rather the bottom of his shirt. Now I'm drawing a parallel line below it, that's to indicate his belt. Adding on 2 vertical lines for the belt buckle. So I guess the drawing is looking alright so far. Now I shall be drawing his left sleeve. So it looks something like that. Again, if this tutorial is too fast, don't hesitate to press pause so that you can draw or retrace the steps. I'm gonna draw part of his wrist extending out from the sides. So after I draw his wrist, I'm gonna draw his fist. He's clenching his fist for this tutorial. So I'm gonna extend it a bit. I feel that it should be wider, so I make my adjustments. So as you can see in a while, this is how I draw my hands. So after drawing, I'm gonna add on his thumb at the top. So it's like a smaller version of the shape I drew earlier. And then I'm gonna be adding a slanted line followed by a curve at the end to indicate where his fingers and the rest of his gloves, where they separate. Okay, now I'm dividing his fingers by drawing 3 lines, so to indicate his 4 fingers apart from his thumb. Okay, I'm just giving him sort of somewhat like his knuckles. So I'm adjusting and erasing when I draw. Okay, I'm doing some erasing for the top of his cap. Just doing lots of erasing to just redefine the drawing. So this is how I normally go about and do my drawing. So at this point of time, I noticed that I didn't quite fancy the shape of my, I guess the pokeball. So I'm adjusting, making it rounder. Doing some adjustments to his cap. And I think this should be the last part of the drawing. I'm adding the pockets to the side of his jacket. So it's just a rectangular shape that is slanted. Okay, just touching up his cap and adding a little curve at the top to indicate the top of the cap. Okay, as you can see, I'm doing some erasing to make it neater. Because sometimes when you draw, you can't get it right the first time, and that's alright. Now I shall head on to coloring him in. So it's basically I'm using marker for this tutorial. So normally I add the basic colors first, followed by the shades, so the darker tones or the lighter tones, before I blend in the marker. You'll see it in a while. Yeah, adding the blacks. So I'm just gonna outline with a thick black marker. At this point of time, I realized the drawing was a bit weird. I forgot to add in the eyebrows. So I actually made the adjustments later on. So he has like this, angsty kind of eyebrows. And that's it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure doing this request. So I will see you in the next one. Take care. Do hit subscribe and like. Don't forget to